So what's happening, people? Again, it's me, Courtney, doing my MMA predictions. Yes, I've been off for a while. I haven't done any videos for the events that I've been on. You know, it's just been really busy. I mean, particularly with the UFC, cancellations of events, fighters' injuries. It's just been too much to keep up with. I had the time, but I'm back. This is my prediction video for UFC 154, St.Pierre versus Condit, which will take place on Saturday the 17th of November 2012 at the Bell Centre, Montreal, Canada. There are 5 fights on the main card, you know, and I want to switch it around this time. I want to do the main event first because I'm excited about this main event, and I won't move it to the bottom of the main card. But anyway, first off, Georges St.Pierre versus Carlos Condit. Georges St.Pierre, current welterweight champion, 5'10", he's got a 22-2 record. You know, everyone knows about GSP. GSP is a badass. A real badass, you know. I mean, he's one of the most well-rounded fighters, probably the most well-rounded fighter in the game. Good striking, excellent wrestling and takedowns, takedown defense as well. Always comes with a good game plan, but it's going to be a bit different because Greg Jackson's not in his corner. You know, Georges St.Pierre is a bad man. You know, I mean, he's a proper athlete. You know, he could probably do any sport, as he keeps saying. But yeah, that's Georges St.Pierre. He's come back off an ACL injury, which may prove a big part. Is he going to be able to take down Carlos Condit? Is he going to be able to move as good? You know, but he's been out for over a year and he's been rehabbing his knee. I think it's his knee. Yeah, it is his knee. You know, so he should be all right. You know, GSP is an athlete, man. I think if anyone can get over that injury, it's probably him. And he looks like he's going to come back hungrier, faster, stronger, you know, because he's been out for so long. But anyway, enough about Georges St.Pierre. On to Carlos Condit, interim welterweight champion. Carlos Condit is 6'1". He's got a 28-5 record. Carlos Condit, very experienced, been around the world fighting. He's got wicked stand-up, excellent stand-up. He's got really good jiu-jitsu as well. He can adapt as well. That's his main thing. He can adapt. He can change up what he does. So if it goes to the ground, he can get into those positions, pass guard, sweep, submissions. You know, he can do that. Obviously, I haven't seen his wrestling. I don't know if his wrestling is as good as his wrestling isn't as good as GSP's. But you know, there's other areas that I think he's better in than GSP. But GSP is more of a package, if you get what I mean. As I said before, he's adaptable, so you know he can GSP will take him down. He could probably get back up off it. He could probably get off his back. He could probably attempt submissions, whatever. Carlos Condit can take a beating. If you see the fights against Roy McDonald and Jay Ellenberger, Condit took an absolute smashing. Then came back and won the fight. But now he's a bit smarter. If you've seen his previous, his last 3 or 4 fights that he's come out, he's hitting first instead of getting hit, if you get what I mean. And he seems to be winning fights this way. But yeah, his last fight was a win against Nick Diaz. That was by decision. A lot of people think that he didn't win that fight. I personally thought he did win the fight. You know, and his last 5 fights, he's just had 5 wins. He's unbeaten. Same with GSP. He's unbeaten in his last 5 fights. You know, GSP's gonna have ring rust and you know all these other things, but I'm picking Carlos Condit because I think he can do it. And if I think he does win, he's gonna rematch straight away. So I'm picking Carlos Condit to win. He may catch him, you know, with a knee. I think he could catch him with a knee coming in for a takedown. But personally, that's what I think. But if he doesn't win like that, I think he's gonna win anyway. I think Carlos Condit will stay away. Sprawl, keep the takedowns at bay for a bit. He may get taken down, but I think it's going to go late. If Carlos Condit does finish GSP, I think it's going to be in the later rounds. Not if he catches him in the early rounds, but I think he's probably going to finish him in the later rounds if he's going to finish him at all. And GSP for this Condit, that's a tall order, man. That's a tall order. That guy can take a beating, and he's taken hits from heavier-handed guys in GSP. But I'm picking Condit to win. Somehow. Next on the card is Martin Kampmann versus Johny Hendricks. Martin Kampmann is 6-0. He's got a 20-5 record. Campman's got, he's got really good striking. He's got good grappling skills as well, good jiu-jitsu. His submissions are really good as well. He's got a nasty guillotine and front choke. Basically, any choke with his head, with your head under his arm, he's good at. And he's got I'm not saying if he's got a good chin. He's got a chin that can take a bomb. He could, if you see against Jake Ellenberg, he took a few hits and he was zombie. But anyway, his last fight was a TKO win against Jake Ellenberger, in which he came back from the dead. And his last 5 fights are 3 wins and 2 losses. But I'm not sure if that's entirely right. I'll have to check that again. But anyway, he's fighting Johny Hendricks, who's 5'9". He's got a 13-1 record. Johny Hendricks is a very heavy puncher. He's very powerful, and he's a Division 1 wrestler as well. His last 5 fights are 4 wins and 1 loss. The last fight was his win against Josh Koscheck, and that was by decision. This is the guy that knocked out John Fitch. That was a tough. A lot of people can't knock out John Fitch, and he did. Smacked him clean out. But anyway, for this fight, I'm going to pick Martin Kampmann to win. I'm hoping that he doesn't do this, what he usually does, which is get battered and try and come back. Because I can see Ray Seafro in the corner going, no, don't do it, I hope Kampmann puts the game plan together right and, comes out and wins instead of sitting back or just, not listening to his corner. Because I'm pretty sure he doesn't listen to his corner all the time anyway. But if he can keep the takedowns at bay, keep Johny Hendricks on the outside, then he should win. Otherwise, if he starts to get into a trade-off with Johny Hendricks, he's going to get knocked out. No doubt about it. He will get clapped and he will get knocked out cold. But I'm picking Campbell to win because I think he's going to use his range and his movement to stay on the outside and keep away from Johny Hendricks. Next on the card is Francis Carmont versus Tom Lola. Francis Carmont is 6'3". He's got a 19-7 record. I haven't seen this guy fight. Although his last fight was a win against Carlos Vermola by a rear naked choke, and he's unbeaten in his last 5 fights. Haven't seen this guy fight. But then he's fighting Tom Lola, who's 6'1", who's got an 8-4 record. Tom Lawler's a good wrestler. He's got a decent submission game. His striking's getting better. He knocked out Jason McDonald in his last fight. Tom Lawler seems like he's been around for ages. I always hear his name. He always got the best costumes come out in. He came on like Steven Seagal, Keith Hackney, Hulk Hogan, Dan Severn. He comes out, he's an entertainer. That's what I like. He comes out, with all those weird things. Actually, I've got to go and check out the weighing video. Anyway, in his last 5 fights, there are 2 wins and 3 losses. This fight, I'm going to pick Lola to win via TKO. I think he's going to take down Carmont and keep him on the ground and pound him out. Okay. Next fight on the card is Nick Ring versus... Who's Nick Ring fighting? Nick Ring versus Constantin Filip. Nick Ring, 6'1", he's got a 13-1 record. Nick Ring's got good kickboxing, good movement in the cage, octagon, whatever you want to call it. He used this against Court McGee, in which he beat Court McGee. Still on the outside and just peppered Court McGee. Court McGee was just walking and he was following him around like that. His last 5 fights are 4 wins and 1 loss. Constantinus Philippou, he's 5'11", he's got 11-2 record. Very good boxing, very, very good boxing, heavy hands. Got decent takedowns as well, and he'll most probably have a half decent grappling jiu-jitsu game because he trains with the Sarah Longer fight team. So it'd be decent. His last fight was a decision win against Ricky Fukuda. His last 5 fights are 4 wins, 1 loss. For this fight, I am going to pick Nick Ring to win. I think he's going to do the similar game plan to what he did against Court McGee and keep on the outside and go round and round and round to probably get a decision win. But if Philippou gets anywhere near him, I think he will knock him clean out. But I'm picking Nick Ring to win that fight. Next on the card is Mark Hominick versus Pablo Garza. Mark Hominick is 5'8". He's got a 20-11 record. Hominick is tough as they come, very quick, excellent striking, kickboxing. Very, very good. He's his submission game's okay as well. His last fight was a decision loss against Eddie Yagin, which I did not see happening. In his last 5 fights, he had 2 wins and 3 losses. And incidentally, he's on a 3-fight losing streak, which, you know, Hominick's a really good fight. You know, he must be top 20 in the world featherweight easily. He's fighting Pablo Garza. I've seen this guy fight before. Pretty sure I have seen him fight, but I can't remember what it was. He's 6'1". He's got an 11-3 record. In his last 5 fights, had 2 wins and 3 losses. I'm picking Hominick to win the fight. I'm not sure how, but I'm picking Hominick to win in front of his hometown crowd. Anyway, let me just give a quick roundup of my picks. Condit, Campman, Ring, Lola, and Hominick. Also check out the fights on the prelim card. The fights on the prelim look pretty good as well, you know. Got Mark Bosek versus Rafael Dos Anjos, Matt Riddle versus John Maguire. Come on, Maguire, win. And you've got some other fights on there as well that people might like. Patrick Cote versus Alessio Sakara. I'm not bothered, but I'd like to see Cote knock out Sakara and knock him out the UFC. And then Cote should drop to welterweight because he's not that big. Jeez. But anyway, subscribe above, please, if you like. And then if you like below, comment below, leave some comments. Follow me on Twitter with the same username, Choku. Check out my Facebook page, facebook.com/Courtney MMA. I train at leicestermma.co.uk. Check them out as well. Other web pages to check out, grappling for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Nogi Grappling. Check out lapelchoke.com. Telling you, man, you need to go there. Desktop wallpapers, limited edition t-shirts that are coming soon. Have a look at those, really good stuff. tweetmma.co.uk. Other channels on YouTube to check out. I'll put the links in below. Tommy Toehold. If you have not seen this guy do his videos, you need to watch it. I'm telling you, no one's doing videos like this guy. MMA comedy at its best. Watch the Halloween video. So funny. Nate Diaz, dressed up as Mario Luigi, and Ronda Rousey dressed up as Princess Toad or Princess Mushroom, depending on which, if you live in the US or the Europe or Japan. Hilarious. Go watch it. Other channels to check out Ted Czech. That's Ted Czech as in Czech Republic. Check him out. He's got some really good, informative MMA videos, not just about the UFC, but other cards as well. Bellator, I'm going to say Bellator, and other organisations from around where he lives in the US. And also not forgetting Bloodstain Lane. He's been let out of the Twitter prison. He's back on Twitter. His account got banned, but yeah, he's back. I think it was today he got it back. But yeah, and go check out his videos as well. I don't always agree with what he says, but that shit's entertaining, I'm telling you. He knows his stuff though. Don't let him fool you. He knows his MMA and boxing. Just because he talks the way he does and, you know, rants here and there doesn't mean that he doesn't know what he's talking about. He knows what he's talking about. He knows his stuff. But anyway, I am gone. Peace. I won't do this the other way. You know what that means in the UK? If you do that in the UK,